It is February the 26th, 2021. Welcome. My name is Rodney Gillette. I am the proud president of the Rotary Club of Colorado Springs, the most outstanding Rotary Club in the Pikes Peak region. Give yourselves a hand. Everybody's clapping. Everybody's happy to be here. You made it right on. Last Friday of February, we're moving on into March. I hope you all enjoyed your snow day this week, if such a thing exists in the age of Zoom calls. Johnson & Johnson released their COVID-19 vaccine since the last time we met. Now we have 3 vaccines out and the results are looking promising. And I don't know about you, but I am happy just thinking about the end of this COVID-19 season. Since the last time we met, we surpassed 500,000 American lives lost to this disease. Some of those people were our friends and family. Can we just take a moment of silence for this? Thank you, my friends. The Colorado Springs Chamber and EDC will be releasing a series of videos set to premiere on social media this Sunday. You will see Rotarians and other local leaders in these videos discussing the Black experience in Colorado Springs. There's a lot of truth, power, and positivity in these stories, so please watch and listen to them. This is real stuff. Reach out to the people in those videos and make a new connection. It's a good place to start. Thank you to the Chamber and EDC, Rotarian and friend Emma Mitchell, Adam Hebert, and Alex Polstra for putting this together. I got a sneak peek at Dr. Regina Lewis's segment, and it's pretty dope. I think you're gonna like it. As we wrap up Black History Month and go into Women's History Month, I wanna talk about what it feels like when someone says they don't see color. I believe those people feel that they are in some way progressive. But what they don't see is that their comment is offensive. When they say they don't see color, they don't see me. You don't see the systemic issues I have to fight against every day. They don't see the threats I face because of my color or the opportunities that pass me by. They don't see that one of the conversations I have to have with my son is how to navigate this world so that he doesn't end up dead like Trayvon Martin. How the 14th Amendment to the Constitution regarding equal protection under the law is still not quite working the way it should in 2021. I have to give my daughters guidance on how to bring about change in a system that judges them for being Black and women. I have to give them the best tools I can so they don't end up like Sandra Bland. There's so much that I would have to do, a whole program on this, but we don't have time for all that right now. It's not always my responsibility to educate everyone on this or to fight racism in all of its forms all the time. I need you to help. Call it out when you hear it and when you see it. Try harder to think about what it's like to be on the receiving end of discrimination and racism, and then find the courage to step in and help. It's hard to fix things that you don't recognize or choose not to acknowledge. So be curious, be intentional, be engaged, and be the example. Now, next we'll have our words of inspiration and song portion. Thank you, Mr. Oh, thanks everybody, that's very kind. Now, next we will have our words of inspiration and song portion of our opening today, given by Colorado Springs City Council President Richard Scorman, Patrice Ravenscroft, Dr. Michael Thomas, and some others you may recognize. And I want to thank the city of Colorado Springs for proclaiming February 2021 as Black History Month. Let it not end on Sunday, but become part of our mainstream America. Stand by while I get this shared.
Achievements and contributions made by African Americans to our economic, cultural, spiritual, and political development. And whereas African American history is a very significant part of American history and should be studied throughout the year, and since 1976, February has been designated as a month in which especially memorable events should be recognized and celebrated. And whereas Colorado Springs can count among its past and present citizens many African American leaders, educators, social justice pioneers with state, national, and international historical prominence, including Horace Shelby, George L. Hackley, Aaron Bailey, Reverend James B. Gregg, John F. Cooper, Shirley Graham Du Bois, Roosevelt Collins, Greta McRae, Leon Young, and others. And last, whereas, the City of Colorado Springs continues to work toward becoming an inclusive community in which all citizens, past, present, and future, are respected and recognized for their contributions and potential contributions to our community, state, and country. Now, therefore, I, Richard Scorman, President of Colorado Springs Council, and all City Council members do hereby proclaim February 2021 as Black History Month in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and urge all of our citizens to commit to working toward the ideals of equality, freedom, and opportunity that our country represents.
This poem is called My Beautiful Blackness. My blackness, you see, is my hero, my refuge, my understanding, and my strength. My blackness is my business grind, my sexy swag, my open heart, and my feminine. These arms you see are not made for hate. They love, embrace, give life, have held death, keeps loving and keeps reaching for a more loving day for us all. You see, my blackness is the love I have to offer you over a cup of coffee as I hear your story. My blackness knows we are all more alike than our outside shells allow us to realize. Our composition combined may be allowed to create beauty and sunshine within these walls we have created to keep us from walking hand in hand. These walls are screaming to be let down. Let me tell you about this beautiful created masterpiece. You see, my blackness, my brown fierceness, and my roots of strength are in the skin. Skin with unmatched beauty, sometimes not reciprocated by the world, but you see, my blackness is strong enough to love me body and soul. Once you open my heart, the illusion slips away so well that sometimes the white comfort might leave the room, reminding me that sometimes my blackness is still feared. But make no mistake, I am an ally. But still in my shell, our society is deeply in need of love's touch. My blackness is a healing to generational wounds. My blackness is the grit to survive the unimaginable. So my blackness is humble. So don't hate what you fear. Take note, as will I. My blackness comes to teach, comes to learn, but always, always, my blackness comes in love. Thank you.
Thank you, President Scorman, council members, mayors, others, and members from our community. It is definitely an honor to be before you today as we listen to the proclamation here by the city proclaiming February as Black History Month. And as we heard in the proclamation, this is just 1 month of focus, a month of emphasis, that we recognize the contributions and accomplishments of many from our African American community that have created this amazing world. And it's something that we do want to make sure that we are recognizing and appreciating every single day. But again, this month is a point of focus, not unlike other areas that we have a focus, whether it's Women's History Month, Native, Indigenous peoples, etc. This is very important. We are an extremely diverse society, and it's our diversity that really strengthens us and brings us all together for that common good. I think over the past year or more, we have seen a lot of social and racial unrest in this country, in this world, and I think it speaks volumes when we don't pay attention to the diversity that we bring to this space each and every day, and when we can marginalize a group of people or a voice of people as if it doesn't matter. And so today, I stand before you as the superintendent of Colorado Springs School District 11, the Center City District, the name moniker district of this beautiful city, Colorado Springs, the most diverse district in the region, with over 77 languages spoken and over 50% or about 50% of our students being of color. We need to ensure that we are being responsive to the students and the families that we serve each and every day, and we're proud to do that. Recently at our last board meeting, we too passed an annual proclamation around Black History Month for the month of February. And I'll close with how I shared with our board. A proclamation and the words on the paper sound great, but it's going to be our actions that we must be held accountable to affect change in this world. Thank you so much, and again, honored and privileged to serve this community.
As a little girl, I used to really enjoy learning about Black history because it really made me confident in who I was. It inspired me to be all that I could be.
It is a time to remember the inventors and the inventions thereof. It's a time to remember the politicians. It is a time to remember our artists and our athletes. It is a time to reminisce on our village and the principles thereof.
I'm Black every day.
Black history is all day, every day, 365, 7 days a week. We don't need just a month. You need to talk about Black history all the time.
When I think of Black history, I think of strength, tenacity, power, perseverance. I think of resilience. I think of Michelle Obama, Rosa Parks, Sojourner Truth, Dr. Martin Luther King, and many other trailblazers that paved the way for us to be in the position of leadership that we are in today.
You don't really hear it at school. You really have to be intentional, and Black History Month is a great time to be intentional with your family, your friends, your kids, and tell them about the many, 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 many greats that came before us.
As kings and queens, it's important we ensure that our children know about our history.
I think Black history also means recovering our little known history. Like, for instance, I didn't find out until my grandma passed that she started the first Negro Women's Softball League in Chicago. Stuff like that, the little stuff that reminds you not only where you come from, but the contributions your people are still making to your community to this day.
I let Black history be a reminder that we're all beautiful. And once we recognize that, we become more powerful, because all equals power. And that's what Black history means to me.
It means an opportunity for myself to be educated, for my community to be educated, and those people outside of our community to be educated on the value of Black people, our contribution to society, our contribution to history, and our contribution to the future of the world.
I love Black History Month because I think it's important that we see constant evidence of our fortitude as a people.
We stand on the shoulders of giants. Every success we have and every door we get to walk through is because somebody before us kicked it down, because somebody before us dreamed so big that we were able to sit at tables and be in conversations that they were never able to be at. They dreamed beyond what they could even accomplish in a lifetime, and that's what our history means to me. I never forget those who came before me, and this is a month to celebrate them and to celebrate our history and the grit and the perseverance that is ingrained in each of us because of them. Because of them, we are.
It means I have an obligation to honor the sacrifices that my ancestors made for me to be here and do what I'm doing right now. They had to die, they had to get beaten, they had to be abused, they had to be enslaved and terrorized and tortured, but we fought through. They fought through for me, so I'm able to do what I'm doing here today. So it is also my job to pay it forward. And not only do I honor the Black history of the past, but the Black history we're about to make.
So let's celebrate Black History Month and each other.
Black History Month.
Yay! Power to the people.